Hello, artists. This is Mrs. B. Welcome to Umaarteng Penmanship. Today, I'll show you how to paint bellflowers. Before I start this tutorial, here's a list of the materials I use. You can also see it in the description box below. I started by making a light sketch of the bellflowers from the top going to the bottom. I used a reference photo that I found on Pinterest that I also put here on the upper right corner of the page. In sketching, do not press your pencil too hard on the paper. Sketch lightly that you can see it, but not too visible that you won't be able to erase it. I use a 3H pencil because it is light. I erased most of the lines, but I left some as my guide. It's okay if you can't copy the exact flowers. All you need is to sketch the shape of the flowers, and you can simplify your painting. Remember to erase before you paint because you won't be able to erase it after you painted on the paper. I also use a kneaded eraser because it doesn't leave any residue. And if you are not using an eraser like this, use a dry brush to remove the residue to avoid any grease, paint, or anything that you have on your hands and keep your painting clean. It's time to paint. I got some of my Viridian from Shinhan Professional and mixed it with Shinhan Permanent Yellow Light, Winsor Blue, Winsor Newton Permanent Mauve, and Daniel Smith English Red Ochre for my background. This way, you can make different shades of green, which will look your painting interesting. I use a size 8 round brush for painting the greens on the background. I use a watercolor block. This way, I can paint right away, avoid warping the paper, and no need to take my paper down. I prepared all of the colors that I will use before painting. For the background, I will do a wet on wet technique. I also mixed some of the Winsor Newton mauve and Winsor blue for the areas of the flowers. You can drop the colors anywhere on the paper randomly as per the reference photo. It was just different shades of green and blurred. So this is my representation of the background. Then you can leave it dry or use a heating tool to dry faster so you can finish your painting quickly. While waiting for the painting to dry, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and tap the notification bell so that you will get notified whenever I upload a new video. My background is dry and I prepared a mixture of mauve and Winsor blue for the flowers, and for the stem I mix Viridian with permanent yellow light and a little of English red ochre. You can also use olive green if you have that in your palette. I would like to thank Yebiso for the cute leaf-shaped ceramic watercolor palette. If you are in the Philippines, you can buy it in Shopee. I put the link on the description box below. I use a size 2 liner brush in painting the flowers. It is easy for me to define the shape and painting the details of each flower using this brush. I started from the buds at the top by looking at the reference photo. I took note of the dark areas where the buds are meeting and some areas of the flowers with blue lines. There are some areas of the flowers and buds that have a lighter value, so take note of it as well. It is advisable to turn your reference photo into black and white if you are having difficulty in determining where to put the highlights or the light areas and the shadows or the dark areas on your painting. Again, you don't have to copy as it is on the photo. You can simplify your painting. To help the highlights or lighter value to pop up more, you can paint negatively. It means that you can make the other side darker and the lighter value will help to show up on your painting. I just follow the same steps on the other flowers as I go down. Watercolor painting is different in using crayons, so avoid painting the shape or the outer areas of the flowers and fill it in. When you paint using watercolors, you should bring the bead or the watery paint across the paper as you paint. That is a common mistake for beginners. Remember that you are dealing with water and not a solid color. In some areas that there are blues and mauve colors in the background that I didn't add any flower, it's still good to have those in the background because it gives an idea that there are some flowers behind. I switch from mauve to blue and vice versa, and I put a mixture of both of the colors of the flower. That depends on the reference photo. It is the reason that I like printing my reference photo so I can take a look at them every time I paint. For darker shades, you could also add a little of neutral tint or plaid to add a darker value on your colors. I will play relaxing music as I paint because I will do the same on the other flowers. I hope that you'll stay with me until the end. Once our painting is done, let's move to the calligraphy. I used the same brush, size 2 liner brush. I started with the ascending loop and then thin upstroke and downstroke for the letter B. I added also an exit line to connect it to the next letter, which is E. I did a loop using an upstroke and downstroke. Remember to make the end of the stroke wet to easily connect it to the next letter. And for the L, I use an ascending. Remember to sign your painting and you're done. I hope you like this video and you can select any videos here for more. Till next time.